New comments just coming in this hour from Senator John McCain, who told the Associated Press that President Obama is, quote, directly responsible for the Orlando shooting because Obama allowed the growth of ISIS under his presidency. Let's go to NBC's chief foreign correspondent, Richard Engel. He joins us live from Istanbul. Richard, McCain's comment that it is the growth of ISIS, what's the reality check on the ground? How much growth has there been?
I've heard that argument from Senator McCain and others who support him that this administration saw ISIS growing and didn't take it seriously enough. It goes back to those comments that ISIS was the JV team, that the administration thought, well, it didn't want to get more involved in the Middle East, and now ISIS has ballooned into an organization that the CIA director said far exceeded Al-Qaeda at its height. To say, however, that the president is directly responsible for Orlando seems like it's going a little bit too far. I mean, directly responsible for the attack was the man who burst into that club and started gunning people down. But there has been this consistent complaint that the administration didn't take the ISIS threat seriously. And if you look at the comments that came from the CIA director today, they were very frank and very blunt, if you will. Not only that ISIS is bigger and perhaps more dangerous than Al-Qaeda ever was, but that the group, ISIS, is in the process of trying to move its people around in order to stage more attacks. And we have some reporting on that. We're going to be reporting on it tonight on Nightly News, that ISIS is actually in the midst of trying to reposition some of its fighters and stage them potentially for new violence.
Richard, authorities here have said, as you know, that they don't see any direction coming from ISIS to Omar Mateen in Orlando, but that perhaps he was inspired. What do you hear over there? What do you hear from overseas sources that he was just inspired by ISIS?
That he was inspired by ISIS, that he probably didn't have any direct command and control relationship with the organization, which is headquartered in Iraq and Syria, and also has a major base, 5,000 to 8,000 fighters, according to the CIA, in Libya. But there are several layers of ISIS attacks, several different ways of operating. There is the command and control attack, like the ones we saw in Paris and Brussels, where a team, a sleeper cell, is activated and carries out a coordinated, complex attack like they did in France and Belgium, with direction directly coming from the ISIS command. That's one level of attack, and those attacks have been very effective and very troubling. Then there is the kind of attack we saw in Orlando or San Bernardino, where people operating on their own authority, but with guidance from ISIS, loose guidance from ISIS, that guidance being don't contact us, don't come to Iraq and Syria, just do attacks any way you can with any weapons you can find. That also counts as an ISIS attack, but it is different because it is not directly ordered or even has as ISIS foreknowledge of the attack. It is just the kind of attack that ISIS is calling up. But for the organization, it still counts, and they've been claiming both of those attacks, claiming credit for both of them.
Richard Engel in Istanbul today. Richard, thanks so much.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.